well, hope you're doing well. You've had a nice weekend, and also you made some profit last week, so hopefully that was the case because you knew what side of the risk appetite we should be on. It's because of the risk calc on the sheet and also the daily videos I've been putting out. I have been ill, so I didn't put any videos out from Wednesday, but the videos on Monday, Tuesday would have helped, and you could also just subscribe to the sheet and Discord anyway. So the risk calc is looking like this. So we've got 6.5 bears versus the 1 bull. Okay, so there's more bears than there are 1 bull. However, we have to remember now, because of the weekend news we had about the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran have now closed it, and they said that US didn't satisfy their part of the deal. US are blockading the strait and Iran are stopping traffic. So it's like it's basically like a tug of war going on with those two countries. And I don't know if there's going to be any resolution. Both parties want a resolution, but I don't know if Iran want to give away their uranium, for their nuclear weapons, and which they're not allowed to do. But if they do, then it's going to be bad news, and this could be very risk off if they do, because Trump will probably start bombing again. So we've got a VIX at 17.5. That could probably go over 20 tomorrow, to be fair, and so we should see some safe haven flows. So while we are risk on the risk calc, we'll have to keep an eye on this metric when we visit it tomorrow, and that will tell us whether or not they've added to that bias. If they add short, it might be risk on, okay, and then maybe the market will just think, well, they're going to negotiate and there's going to be some agreement. There will be a deal eventually because both parties want a deal. So, you might be risk on, okay? So let's have a look at the QDB scores. Also, apologies, I've still got a cold, so if you can hear it in my voice, I do apologise. So the QDB scores, we saw a big move on the pound CADs, and that would infer that we're going to have a stronger oil and probably a weaker pound, and we've got the politics, and we've got the elections coming up in the UK with a possible brand new party in the UK, and that'll be Reform. Okay, so for as long as I've been alive, there's always been like a two-party system, and now it looks like Labour might be out of that equation, and it's going to be Conservatives and Reform. So we'll have to see how we go. It might be a landslide victory, or it might be, we'll just have to wait and see. But there's going to be a lot of uncertainty around the UK, and the pound normally suffers when there's politics at play. As you would have seen on the Scottish referendum, the pound absolutely puked, and Brexit. It was ridiculously heavy. So that's how we look at. So probably you could look for maybe pound sells because we've got quite a poor score, and you could perhaps potentially look for Aussie longs. Okay, so let's look at the COT data. Oh no, just the bubbles actually, and then we'll look at the COT data so we can see how the crowd are positioned. There you go. So they're long yen and long dollar, okay, and they're short Aussie and they're short Swiss. Now the thing is with these two, they've been short Aussie and Swiss for weeks and weeks and weeks. I think it's more than a month now they've held short, so eventually they're going to get beaten up and they're going to have to let go. So we may see more Aussie strength potentially, and we're probably going to have to see some more yen dollar weakness just to get them out of the trades, and we need them to exit, because once they become exit liquidity, then we can see reversals. So that's why they've got to get stopped out, and this is why we're seeing very aggressive moves to get them out. Okay, so that's how we look at. So let's maybe bring that across so I can refer to it. My memory's actually really bad. Oh, and also the BOJ as well. This is worth noting. This is ongoing today, and so we're going to get some information out of that. Yeah, oh no. April. 27th. Oh, right. Okay, so that's fine. That's cool. We don't need to worry about that yet. Next week we'll need to be yeah, we'll need to be sort of probably not holding yen trades over the weekend, okay, the next weekend. So that will be quite a bumpy one, and apparently there's 100% probability of a hike, okay. So let's have a look at the COT data, and I'll maximize the bubbles so I can refer to them, and then let's look at the downloads. Downloads. Where did I put it? There you go. Oh, come on. Yeah, right click. So you're going to come to Discord, you're going to download it, and then properties, unblock, and then that's it. So we can see how we're going. So that's that. It's going to say a warning about me having to renew my subscription to Microsoft. But what I might do, I might use the Open Office because it's just as good and it's free. And so I might do that. Anyway, let's enable the content. I mean, if it works, it's fine. It's, you know, as long as the macros work and it pulls the data, it's not too much of a problem. Yeah, let's click that. It doesn't. Oh, here's the warning. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I may not do that. I'm not sure. I'll have to wait and see. I mean, I can certainly afford it. I had an excellent week last week. It was crazy, and I invested in a crypto token, and it had basically rocketed, and then it dumped. But luckily for me, is that I made some profit on the way up, and I invested that profit into other crypto tokens. So it was a good week for me, and I made some good money trading as well. Chart page. So I mean, I could pay for a license, but I might just get the free version. I don't know. Oops. Right click. Move chart. Oh, the euro. That is interesting. Right. So net non-coms. So in case you're wondering on the euro USD and why it's not going down, it might be because of this, and that the non-coms, the banks and institutions, like the whales, basically, they've just bought the euro quite strongly off its zero, so we're back strongly positive at 26,000. The dollar is at 5,000. So let's remove these dates, and let's get rid of those dates, and we can look at the yen. And we have to remember, maybe don't trade the yen next week. I'm going to avoid it just because of the fact that there might be like a surprise where apparently they're 100% going to hike, but they may not. You know, it's a bit tricky. The big fish might get caught out, you know. So they've looked to just slightly buy 93 to 83. Okay, so bearish, but not as bearish as we could have been. They could have continued to sell it. It does look like we're in this downtrend, so we'll need to buck that trend before we start looking for longs on yen. And don't forget the crowd, they're long yen as well, and they're short Aussie. These ones we want to be careful with because these could flip back and forth. But the euro is a buy, Swiss is a buy, CAD to sell, Kiwi is a sell, and I think the pound's back there as well. It's been hidden, and then dollar and the yen is sell as well. So that's that. Okay, so it looks like we are in a strong downtrend, and we didn't really even buck the trend at all. It's just very limp, very limp effort there. It's very looks quite heavy, and when you look at the retail sentiment as well, it could be quite bearish. Aussie on. Let's look at Aussie, and a slight move lower, 65 from 81. Okay, so that's that. So strongly positive, but slightly less positive than the week prior. Aussie off. Pound hopefully is going to be moving lower. It is. It's not like the yen, where the yen's in like strong free fall. The pound's more like in a very gradual free fall. It looks like we're just sort of like weaving up and down like this, and inevitably we're going to probably break the support potentially. And we've got the UK politics as well. And I think if you were a massive investor, you'd probably put your money out of the pound due to the uncertainty, because when we've got a new political party, there could be huge changes and that BOE are going to have to adjust to that, and it might cause all sorts of problems as well. So probably be slightly bearish on the pound. I think the pound CAD could be a good one. Okay, and let's look at CAD. Oh, okay, so that's that. So I mean, this is from Tuesday, and this is while we had some, good news about the Strait, and this doesn't reflect what happened on Friday because this is data from Tuesday. So really, I'm not sure when we should be moving up higher. But like I said at the very beginning of the video, perhaps there is going to be a deal. We have to be careful and know your exits as well, especially if you take profit. It's like I did on that crypto. It was up something like 400%. That's kind of ridiculous, really. So you want to be taking profits as you go. Not completely exiting necessarily, but taking some off the table, because the world is very uncertain right now, and we could be risk on by the weekend. We could be strongly risk on, and the things are going to pump. CAD off. Gold wasn't acting like a safe haven on Friday. We had that really good news, and it really pumped. So it tells me that it's definitely not really a safe haven. It's really because the dollar moved really strongly lower, and that's the reason for gold USD to move higher. But we are very sideways on gold. Okay, so people say it's a safe haven, but it's more the US yields are this safe haven, so that's why the dollar moves with risk off. So gold off, and then New Zealand dollar, and then we're sideways. Yeah, we may break that low. If we do, it might get interesting. And then the Swiss franc, and then that'll be it for the video. And any questions, let me know. You're more than welcome to join. There's unlimited seats. You can join the Patreon. Do the IC Markets link if you want lifetime access. If you want lifetime access, you can do the PayPal route, and you can DM me on Telegram or Discord if you've got questions. If you want to chat, I'd prefer it if you did it in the Discord, so it doesn't drain my battery, because if I've got 20 people messaging me just about, just like chat, it hasn't really got too much of a purpose, and it sort of drains me quite a bit. But if it's a question, then there's a purpose to it. Okay, and if you want to chat, that's what Discord's for. Okay, and I don't mean to be rude, but you've got to remember, if I've got 20 conversations going on, asking how I'm doing and things like that, I'm just repeating myself 20 times, So if you've got a question, DM me. If you want to chat, go to Discord or Telegram. Okay, and that's it. So hopefully it's a good video. If you can like it, that'd be great. And have a good weekend, and I'll speak to you guys soon.